river's this, and is that looking out to sea? Is that the mouth of the river?
Yeah, that's the mouth of the river, and if you kept going straight out there, you'd end up in New Guinea. Straight out in the Gulf, what they call the Gulf. This is the Carrigan River.
Making any headway?
Not a lot. There is some top. Oh, gee, it's a big fish, eh? Oh. You didn't get the jump.
I don't think so.
How far from the roper is it?
Oh, it's about 300k. A lot bigger than that one I caught yesterday.
My name's Troy, and this is Pete. I haven't got a clue about catching barramundi fish. I've caught the odd flathead and whiting and even the odd brim before, but I'm keen to catch barramundi. Well, so what I thought I'd do is I'd give my old mate Pete a call, and I can tell you he's caught more than one or two. So Pete, I'm sitting at home watching this on telly with a few of my mates, and I'm keen to catch big barramundi. Tell me, what sort of preparation do you think that I'd need if I was going to make a trip up north specifically to go and catch big barramundi?
Well, going up north is definitely sorting out your lure bag for a start.
Okay.
Now, that you can have more than one lure, but you don't need $1 million worth.
Okay.
Well, this lure here, I've caught more fish with that. Well, you can see with the scar marks on it.
One thing that's always interested me with lures is, does the colour make a big difference when we talk barramundi?
No, the action of the lure.
So what determines the action of the actual lure? The size, the shape, the bib on the front, what is it?
I don't know what causes the action.
Right.
Like the maker of the lure, the boy that contact with that,
Okay.
I'll tell you. Now here's a Reedy's lure.
Yep.
This pretty lady has caught a 70-pound barra. Now he's not 3 inches long.
Okay. All right, so I don't need big lures to catch big fish all the time.
You can catch them on anything.
Okay. Now this bib on the front, it's a deep swimming lure?
This one is, yeah.
Okay. And do you find that it makes much difference?
I'd only use it in deep water.
Okay, sure. All right, good.
I use a lure for every water I go. If I'm fishing in shallow water, I'll use a popper or a small...
Brand of the popper?
No brand on it, just a cheap popper from the fishing shop.
Okay, yeah, good. Alrighty.
Probably only $4 for a popper.
Okay, and colour, once again, make much of a difference?
I'll still take it.
Okay, so it's the action
If
of
the water's too dark, you've got to have a lighter popper. You've got to have a darker popper.
Okay.
If the water's shallow, you've got to have light coloured. You've got to have it coloured.
Alright, so I'm fishing shallow water. Go through that again with me. I'm fishing shallow water. I want what colour lure, dark or light?
Light.
Okay, I want a light coloured lure. Fair enough. And I'm fishing muddy, dirty water?
You can use the dark one.
Okay, good. So I'm trying to basically, the colour of the lure should suit what colour the water is.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good thing. All right, well, I think we've talked enough. Let's go and see him in action.
Oh, it's again.
You can't throw with that rod.
Full look out of him again.
Got him? Got him?
Bigger. Like a tube. How's that?
Two in the one go.
Now this, I've got to lift this up and show you. This is the first time, this is a real record. Look, 2 barra on the one lure. Now if I didn't have it on video, no one believed me.
That's true too.
Look at this.
Yeah. Is it? We had 3 goes at this one. He kept taking it and dropping it. This time he's got him hooked. He thinks it's a finger mark.
Yeah, it is. A bloody big brim.
It's a brim?
Yeah. I don't reckon I'm showing you.
Oh, isn't he a nice brim? What was it, Barra? Oh, isn't that lovely?
Good enough.
Yeah, and then I'll get a still.
Right.
Oh, you better be a big one. This is our first day in camp. This is what our camp looks like. We're actually sleeping in under this thing here, under a mosquito net. See Peter relaxing over the back. I'll go around and do him front on in a moment. And just over this way a little bit is the other campers. And then about 200 yards past the boat ramp there is the shops just through those trees. This is the front of our camp. Peter relaxing again. And the water's laid on right there. Our shower's just collapsed at the moment, but that's where we have our shower. And there he is, the man himself. Fish on the Towns River. We're just about to let him go. So he'd have to be at least, what, 15 pounds?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
You let that fish go. How many fish do you let go?
We only keep a fish around 5 pounds that we can eat.
Pan size.
Yeah, pan size, we call pan size. It's like eating sponge cake.
Oh,
Eat that
nice
many,
fish.
our belly goes in there for the tide.
Wow. Geez, beauty.
Do these fish bite?
No, they've got a soft mouth, a very soft mouth. But you can go
Why
to
do
some
you
of the
hold him up
places
with
back towards Darwin more.
Still picture.
You can feed the fish, they'll let you feed them in the wild. Just hold the bait on top of the water, the fish will come up and take that to your hand.
Hello.
I've never seen a fish break surface so much.
But
6
yet,
feet at least.
if you throw a bait out there, a live potty mullet, they will take every bit of
Gets away
scales
before
off
I
him
take a
clean
picture.
before they eat him. And I can't imagine how they do it. You can't feel them doing it. They'll do it.
Yeah, here's something. Alright, I'll get me still one before he dies.
Yeah.
So here we are, Pete. We're on a river. How do I know when to throw the lure and retrieve, or when I'm better off to troll?
Oh, that's a hard one, that.
Is it a personal choice, really?
No, I go for, if I'm getting buggered in the days throwing and retrieving the lure, I troll.
Okay.
But
Good.
mainly if I troll, I don't troll like most people. I troll it and jerk, just jerking the lure in.
Okay, so the idea of not just having, we throw the lure out and we sit there with the rod in the hand, the idea of jerking the lure, is there anything in that?
It makes it look like a wounded fish.
All right, so if there was a rod out that side and a rod out this side of the boat, and one was just still and one was actually had a bit of an action to it, do you think it'd make a difference?
I would.
Okay, and you've seen it in action?
Yeah.
All right, beauty. Let's see more fishing.
Oh, he's a lovely one.
Well, 14-pound gear, you'd have to play them fairly well.
Oh, you've got,
as big as the first one.
you know, some it takes a fair while to tire them out to land them. It all depends on the fish. As people know that caught much fish, they're pretty easy to tire out. Some fight right to the last little bit. Now, what I'm doing here now is a bit of plasé, as you like to call it, because once you put your hand in that water, there's crocodiles watching us there. Like we'll come back there next day and you'll see all the drag marks on the sand where they come out of the water and laid there.
In here, nice fish.
Gaggy. That's about the size of the fish that I threw back then. That if we want one to eat, but we've already got enough, I suppose. We've caught one for the day and kept one.
You wait long between bites?
If you've waited 5 minutes, you've waited a long time. There's the fish are there.
Now then, this is a general exhibition movie here. Oh, okay.
What sort of fish is that?
It's a estuary cod, a spotted cod. Potato cod, they call them. Like here, you're not allowed to keep them if you did catch one around here, but up there, they're beautiful eating. I prefer to eat them than barramundi.
A Barra though?
Yeah, oh yeah.
That river looks as big as the Clarence.
Oh, this is a lot bigger than the Clarence and MacArthur. It's MacArthur, the mines there, they have the great, well, the highway is 4-lane traffic into the, round Barra to MacArthur. It's all done for the mines. They've got their own planes and doctors.
Really?
God knows what they look after you. If you go there fishing, they look after you same as the ones that work in the mine.
Looks a beauty.
We sleep in a little tent.
Sleep in a tent?
Yeah, and let the wind blow over the top. Sometimes outside the tent. Get out there and feed the mosquitoes and try and sleep.
What about crocodiles?
Where we're camped is about 150 yards from the water, and not many crocodiles have come up the hill to where you are. Yeah.
But you wouldn't be the first to be dragged out of bed by their heels.
But there are stupid people that do things. You have no idea. We've got them come there and they camp right on the edge of the water. And I've seen the drag marks through the tent. Then they say, oh God, my crocodile been here. What do they expect? They're sleeping with them. And like they bring their fish back and they clean them right next to the camp and throw them. You know, if I'm cleaning the fish, it's within 10 miles of the camp. I don't clean any around the camp. Big.
Think I should drop the anchor now that you got him worn out?
No, we had me on the anchor. Oh shit, I haven't got him worn out.
Somewhere down here. Oh, there he is.
You see?
Yeah.
He's big.
I think I should have brought the net. Lovely. Well done.
All right, Pete, so I've gone in, I've bought my lure. Now, setting it up, as far as barramundi goes, I know that there's different species of fish, some need a trace and some don't. What are your views on barramundi and leaders or wire traces in front of the lure?
I always use wire trace in front of a lure.
Yeah, why wire?
Reason that a barramundi will cut it off.
Okay, like his teeth, or what actually cuts
No, the fin at the back of the gills.
Okay.
The gill fin will cut off. I
Okay.
use it, and I also use the wire in case I get snagged.
Gotcha.
Now, I hate losing lures.
Okay, Pete. So I've got my favourite lure. I've got a wire trace on the front of it, so I'm not going to lose it. Well, there's no problems. Only problem was she trolled a bit deep, and I hit a log. So what are we going to do? What do we got here, Pete?
A lure retriever.
Okay.
Or a tackleback, whichever they like to call them. They call them everything.
Okay. So
Tackleback, which you slide down your line,
give us a bit of an idea.
you unbuckle them,
Yep.
you thread the line in and buckle
Righto.
them up again.
So say that's my line there. How does it work? Goes through there, hooks back on.
And goes down the line till it hooks the lure.
Okay, so we're hooked on.
Comes up, hooks the lure.
So there it is there. Here's my line pulling.
Yeah, but you slide it down to hook that.
Yeah, there it is. It's hooked the lure.
Yep,
And then heave ho.
yep.
And
heave
away
it
you
out.
go.
It's a hell of a heavy
Okay, you've got a big
200
mono line on there.
mono line.
Yep, okay, beautiful. You've pulled the odd lure off with this one?
Oh yeah, I've got more than I've lost.
Okay, excellent. All right. Well, this lure retriever sounds like a handy sort of a thing to have when going up north. The last thing you'd want is your prized lure that you've caught good fish on and not to be able to get it back. Any chance of, you know, jumping over the side and grabbing your lure back up there, Pete?
Not much chance.
And why is that?
You're not a loser, I think you stay in the boat.
What are the chances of losing?
Everything.
The whole lot. So you might be referring to our crocs.
Yeah, crocodiles would be the best bet.
Okay, good. You see many?
See, crocodiles everywhere.
Okay, good. Let's go and have a look at some, eh?
This is the quiet one they've been telling us about. Oh. Look at that. I'll bring him closer. Wow. Yeah. Oh, there he is.
You see?
Yeah.
He's big. Oh, let me give him a lift too.
Can you get him?
Just give him a lift.
Hold him. You want me to come and gaff, Pete?
See the gaff hook there in his bottom jaw, that doesn't hurt the fish.
No, actually I've caught the same fish twice at times.
Really?
That taken the bait the second time. So if you just put the gaff in them and lift them up and throw them back in again, okay.
Through the outside. Oh, feel the weight.
But I've studied these fish pretty well, and I know just how they'll bite and take a bait.
Nice fish there.
It's a good fish, yeah.
How heavy would that be?
At 30 odd pound.
Oh, look at that.
That'll do.
Okay. Well, this is our camp up here now on the
Back at the camp again.
Towns River.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where we spend a lot of the time. Water, we've got our own freshwater spring. The Aboriginals dug a little cave, a little stream out, and we've got fresh water there, and that's as anybody that has been north don't realise that fresh water, clean water, is the hardest thing to get. We've got it here that we go down and get it every day. As you can see now, I'm fishing in shorts and short sleeve shirt. We come back and have a shower of an evening and a fish dinner, fish tea, and we go fishing just for the evening. We take lures.
The water looks beautiful.
It's fresh water, 15 kilometres long, and it's a big hole, and it's fresh water, but the tides comes into it, and later on in the year, it turns salty. Heavy. You get terrible salty and crabs and everything come into it then. But if you go down the creek and you want to feed the crabs, you just use the lander net and you dive along and you see them swimming along and you just dip the crab out. I've got up to 50 prawns in one throw with a throw net. But half a dozen prawns is nothing.
What sort of prawns are they?
Oh, big tiger prawns, they're the big ones.
Tiger prawns.
Oh, he's a nice,
Beautiful sunlight.
he's a nice fish.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Very well done.
Yeah, they tell us that the mouth of this creek is
It's
not
out here
touched
somewhere.
by the professional fishermen. They don't touch it with the nets.
Oh,
You can go there of a moonlight night and you
Oh,
you
well
can't
done.
sleep. There's a plug into these big boats. They come into the creek. The fishery don't come down at night
yeah, you
time.
come in quickly.
They come there. They see where the net's tied up next morning. They run right across the river. And they must pull tons of it out.
They're pocket nets. They're catching them as the tide's going out.
Yeah. You can see them. Well, they're not allowed to sell the crabs, the net fishermen. We went there and you'd see about 500 crabs in one
Oh,
heap, just
Well
rotten.
done.
And they go bad very quick because
Yeah,
it's so
well,
hot. And they just break their backs because they're in the net and pull them out and throw them off. The waste is terrible.
Little one.
We don't use lures all the time.
No, you got to change it around so you don't get sick of fishing one
Yeah,
thing.
bit of variety.
Yeah.
Okay, so catching potty mullet or catching my live bait. How do we kick off?
I do it with a throw net,
All
the
right.
potty mullet.
And throw net, can I, practice them while I'm in New South Wales, Victoria?
Not really. You can't have them in New South Wales or Victoria. If you're caught with one in your vehicle and you're going over a bridge, they can catch you. They can find
Okay.
you.
So the laws are pretty strict, so it's probably not advisable to go practicing down at my local creek if I'm in New South
Oh,
Wales.
no, that's the wrong thing.
Okay, so Queensland, we're okay to use?
Yeah, Queensland.
All right,
Victoria.
Northern Territory?
Yeah.
Okay, so I get my throw net, go for the big throw. What am I looking for when I want to catch my live bait?
Oh, you see the little potty swimming along. You can throw the net over them.
Okay, so I'm looking for shallow water, a little bit of shimmering on top of the water.
Yep.
Okay, good. So, out my net goes, pull me potty in. You keep them live at all?
Yeah, I use a live bait trap.
I've got my live bait. I've just seen you hoy one out there after a barra. Can you give us a little bit of an idea? I know here we don't have an actual live bait, but if you had a live bait in your hand, you've just pulled him out of your box, how are we going to hook him up?
Well, what I do, I use an 8/0 hook and I put it through his tail part about an inch away from his tail,
Okay.
so that the fish can swim around. Now, I don't use a sinker.
Sure.
I use a heavy swivel.
All right, and about that much leader?
Yes,
So say about X amount of leader,
yep.
and pound line in the leader, we're looking at about 25, 30
No,
pound?
it's 40 pound line.
40 pound leader, okay, so we've got about that much. All right, good. About sort of half an arm's length
Yes.
there. Good, we've got a swivel on the end. So you're not going to bait the live potty. Why is that?
I don't do that. I just hook
Okay.
it in him, let him swim around, just like if I'm fishing with a lure.
All right, so we've got our leader, which is so long. We've got our swivel on. And what do you use on sinkers?
This is the sinker.
That's all we
The
use?
swivel is my sinker.
Okay.
I like to have the bait looking more real than anything, just swimming around,
Okay.
waiting for a barra to eat it.
So the more natural the fish can look in the water, the more chance you have of getting a hook up.
Yes, if this was a potty mullet and you threw that out where there's barramundi, a barramundi, he'll come up, even if he don't want it, he'll grab that fish and take every scale off it before he'll swallow it.
Little one. Oh, he's not a bad one. Oh, well done. Yeah, he's a beauty. Okay. Yeah, he's a nice fish. Lovely. Oh, well, that was a bit of fun. This for King Brown.
Yeah, this is what I'm more frightened of than others, the king brown.
That's a king brown there, is it?
Yep. We seen one that 2 days before. We never took him on the camera. He was down on the bank, but we thought we'd chase him a bit on the bank, but he turned around and come back in the water after us.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's fresh water.
Look at him go.
Yeah, that's brackish down where he is now. It's starting to get.
It looks like a big
Look
snake
how big
too.
he is.
He's quite a big snake. You see him a lot bigger than that.
That's Nils Master.
Now this is fishing with the Nils Master lure.
Mm.
It's the old Nils Master's been going for years. You can't better them up. Get them going with a fish this size. Now we'd just come down for a break. In the evening, this is what happens. You work hard trying to get a fish in.
So this is in the cool of the day.
Yeah,
Yeah. How much is a lure like that worth?
about $24. So we don't try not to lose too many.
Oh, yeah, show me. This is how it's done.
But odd times I might lose 1 or 2 lures a season.
Oh, I can see a bow wave coming.
It's not much to pay from the fun I get.
Oh. It's getting a bit dark too.
Yeah, she's getting pretty dark here. We're going to get back up that bank. I've got a torch with us in the boat, and I don't like walking around for snakes back to the camp, getting back to the camp. It's the snakes there don't seem to, like down here, if you see a snake, he'll crawl and get away from you, but up there, they don't seem to know what you are. I'd like to take a piece of you. Yeah, one year up there we had a king brown in a 8x8 tent with us, with the wife.
Had an awful lot of line
And she got out of the tent and zipped the tent up.
She got out of the tent and closed it up.
And zipped it up, and he didn't bite it. Well, how the hell did...
What, she got into the tent and the
She
snake's
was
in there with it?
and she was getting the pills and things out and sitting there. She threw them in over the bed, and out come this... He'd be at least 7 or 8 foot. And the longer we left him in there, the savager he got.
Okay, Pete, so we've just thrown our bait out. We've got our leader on, we've got our swivel on the front. Now, when the barra actually comes along to engulf the fish, what does it feel like? Does it feel like the fish is actually sucking the fish away, or does it feel like a big strike? And how should I strike back at that barramundi when he takes the potty?
Well, every time you throw out is different.
Okay,
You can strike with a big strike, the fish will strike, you strike.
okay.
9 out of 10 times you'll miss it.
If you give it a big heave.
You've got to give the fish a bit of line with live bait.
Okay, good. So with live bait, you tend to let him take it?
Yeah, we've got to take those scales off before he'll take the fish.
Okay. All right, so here I am, we're trolling along. The difference between a strike on a lure and a strike on a potty mullet, for example, is there much?
Well, when they take a lure, they just strike. Just
Okay.
take the lure,
Bang.
and it's all over.
She's all on.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
all on. With a bait, they are very fussy at times, especially if they're not taking it properly. They'll scale it before you got to strike them.
All right, so there might be a little bit more technique in actually catching a fish with live bait than there would be on a lure.
There is.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, it's a lot harder to catch a fish on bait than it is on lure.
Okay. So, catching a big fish, we see lots of people, they get big hookups, but they don't have them for very long. What's the difference between someone that can hook a big fish up and someone that can land a big fish, like I've seen you do plenty of times?
Catching a lot.
Okay.
I'd just like to take my time and land the fish.
All right, so not hurrying the operation?
No,
No?
never to hurry it.
Okay. And any secrets in why I'm not hurrying or putting more pressure on the fish than I need to? Why wouldn't I do that?
Well, that's why people lose the fish. The more pressure you put on, you like to pull the hook out of them.
I've seen a few times there where you've pulled big fish to the side of the boat and the lure just got him on the lip. The chances of you losing that fish if you put too much pressure on him?
Oh, 100 to 1.
That's right. A fair bit, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So the easier we can take it, the better.
Yep.
All right. And what about drag? Does your drag set evenly the whole time, or do you tighten it and loosen it as you're fighting
No,
the
it's
fish?
set evenly all the time. I'm only using a 14-pound line, so there's not a real lot of drag.
Okay. So line poundage is not huge. You're catching big fish. The fish we've seen him catch today, all right, are big fish. And the maximum pound line you'd use would be only 14 pound,
That's
about 6 kilo.
Yep.
Wow, that's not real heavy, is it?
No. We just pray him a video will stay light enough to land him.
So how long would it take you to get a fish in like that?
Well, I suppose this one took at least 30 minutes, or maybe a bit better. But any time from about 10 minutes to 30 minutes from...
It's a fair stretch of water for him to play in too.
It's a big level water hole. As I said, it's 15 kilometres long.
That'd be pretty tiring for you too.
Well, it is. I slept well that night. You don't worry about the mosquitoes or the crocodiles, you go off to sleep. The scales are about the size, or bigger than a 50-cent piece.
Yeah.
On a fish this size. It's,
I suppose you'd lose a few too when they get to this size.
well, I don't lose too many because that's what I go for fishing. I release them, but I don't lose many, you know.
The water's quite flat too.
Yeah, it's beautiful of an evening, just when the sun goes down. It's like this, you can see everything going down. Yeah, we got a bit frightened there one night. We just got into bed. It was just dark. And the sky just lit up like daytime. Everything we could see for miles. You know, it was just the same as day. So we didn't know what had happened. We didn't know if it was bloody, we were getting invaded from space or what. So we're telling bloke about it. We didn't like telling too many people about it, but when we were telling about, oh, he said, that's nothing, mate. He said, the jet planes from Tyndall Air Base is not far away. He said, and they come across there and they don't land with their fuel tanks full, so they dump their fuel tanks and ignite it. And that's what you see, everything lights up. It's very interesting to see.
It would be.
You don't hear them because they're up too high and they just dump this fuel and ignite it.
Do they?
Yeah.
That'd be spectacular.
It was something new for us to see.
Oh.
You would have thought the spacemen had got us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so peaceful of a night time there, you know, you can't hear boats screaming around. But if you put the torch on, even now, and shined on top of the water there, you'd see red eyes looking at you.
Yes. Crocodiles.
Yep. The red eyes.
So if you had strong light and shone it round over the water.
Just an ordinary torch, a dolphin torch, and just shone it around, they look at you.
And they're sitting around waiting for you to
Oh,
fall in.
yeah, do the wrong thing. Like if you fell in there wouldn't be much here left.
By the time you swam to shore, you'd be gone. Yeah. Why do these crazy people go swimming in places like this? They must be half drunk, half mad.
Hear the line going out now? It's screaming out.
He's taken off again.
Yeah, you get him in close and he takes off again. Yeah, people have done like we were there and there's blokes from Charters Towers, or 3 or 4 blokes, and they were sitting there one day and I said, what are you looking at? And they said, it's that girl up there waiting to see if a crocodile come. And here she was having a wash, a German tourist having a wash in the creek. You know, I said, God, you can't do things like that. You had to go and tell them, but they were full of grog and reckon they were waiting to see the fun. When I told her, she couldn't understand much English, and when I explained to her what was there, she went and got in the truck and wouldn't get out. She was paranoid.
This is getting dark, Peter.
Yeah, it's getting close to getting... If we keep going, it's going to be morning again.
Is the boat anchored?
No. If
So
you put an anchor down, they'll wrap around the anchor, break your
Oh.
line off.
So you're better off not anchored with that anchor.
Oh yeah, just a drift around.
Well, they are a smart fish, so they go to a tree or anything they can find.
Tree, they pull the lure out of their mouth. They do the lures. I've come back the next day and found it hanging in a tree. You'd wonder how hell they got up so high.
Yeah.
He's getting a bit beat now. He's throwing the towel in. It's either him or me now.
Yeah. I was looking at you, wondering who you're talking about.
Yeah. I'm getting a bit buggered too, hanging on him. A fish this size, he's a 40-pound barra.
Can you get radio there?
Yes, of night time we get stations. We get a lot from Darwin or overseas New Guinea and all that. So we listen to the radio at night time. There's no TV. You don't get TV there.
Oh, you wouldn't miss that.
No, it's good. It's great when you can get away from it all.
You still got fight in him yet?
Oh, not much now. He's getting a bit giddy. I think he's found out who's his master.
Have you broken a rod there?
Yeah. Actually, Grace fell over in the boat one day. Fell on the fishing rods and broke my best fishing rod. You know, I nearly made her walk home.
Ah.
It was close.
Well, after making a swim to the shore. You've never snapped one on a fish there?
No, I never snapped one. I've got heavy enough line, but yeah, I couldn't lift him.
You couldn't have gone much longer without being in the dark there.
No. You can see all the orders I'm getting, the wife.
How heavy's that?
40-pound neat.
You weigh that?
Yeah.
So, Pete, we've just landed a big barra. I see how you gaff them there. What's the deal with, you know, you seem to be pretty particular in how you gaff a fish.
I like gaffing a fish in the soft part of the mouth.
Okay.
I don't hurt the fish that way.
Sure.
It's the same as releasing the fish. They say that when I'm releasing a fish, I throw them back in. When I throw them back in, they hit the water.
Sure.
They get a nice taste of oxygen going into their gills.
Sure.
They're gone.
Yep.
If I let them go like most these big time fishermen do and swim around for a while, the poor buggers sink before they go.
Okay. So your idea is that they get a fresh hit of oxygen, which they're getting from the water, obviously, through their gills, and boom, they're out of
They're
it.
gone. Well, you've only got to look to what I've thrown back in.
Okay.
And this is early of a morning. That's when you're going to go fishing from now till about 2 o'clock and then
So you're heading towards the mouth of the
Yeah.
river there?
down there, all going somewhere. We don't know where we're going. We just go where it's nice and cool.
Oh,
And this is bringing back a motor that's done the gearbox. We're towing him back.
I haven't seen many other fishermen Is there many about there?
Actually, we would,
Get him?
as I said, 3 weeks we've been without seeing any, but
Don't tell me.
you see whenever something happens, there's always somebody comes along. It seems funny. Now this water here
Oh, she's in this
would
cottage.
be only 2 foot deep at the most.
Really?
The
Is that
tide's
high
coming,
tide?
the
Is it-
tide's coming in. You can see the tide running in.
It seems very
You've got to
close
be out
to
of there
the-
before it turns the other way, or otherwise it'll leave you sitting on the mud.
Well, it seems like a high tide
Used to be.
with the vegetation over the other bank.
No, you get one every day like this. They're funny. The tides will come in.
Oh,
You don't
That's
even
a nice
see them coming in. They're gone out again, before you know it.
These are big fish to be in such shallow water.
blue salmon.
Well, the fish swim around with their back out of the water. Now, people laugh at that. When you see them chasing the bait fish, and they got their back out of the water.
The water's not deep enough.
Not deep enough for them to swim in.
No, he's got no threads on him.
Wish I could have shown more of it. Looking up there behind me now, the water
Nice one, just a fun.
would be 25 mile long. You can just see water.
What, the stretch of river, you mean?
No, the stretch of water that comes out over the...
Oh,
the
if you
bank.
went up on a helicopter,
Yeah.
you'd see it spread out for 20.
Oh, easy.
It's like a basin catches the water.
Well, that's what the barramundi spawn in. They go out in the mud flats and that and spawn. And then the water runs off.
Is there cattle there, Pete?
There's buffalo,
Goes the
there's
master.
wild buffalo, and there is odd wild cattle there too. There's
You're cleaning the
mile of
paper
dingoes. The dingoes will keep you awake all night if you sing out to them and upset them. They start singing out. But we've had 2 buffalo, massive buffalo, walk into our camp, and they'd done a big cow pad right in the middle of the camp. And we were asleep no more than 8 feet off them and didn't hear them.
Like that.
Yeah,
So this is wild buffalo.
yeah. Yeah, they're wild, all right.
Look at that.
You get that? Yeah, that's what I like about them. It's so spectacular.
How far out of the water have you seen them come? I mean, that he jumped up probably 3 or 4 feet there.
Well, the most I've seen is 6 or 8 feet that come out. It looks terrific.
Oh,
He's giving it to me.
Like we generally
Yeah,
get
he
wet
gave it
like
to
this
me too.
before we get them in the boat.
on the camera.
Fishing through the middle of the day wouldn't be on because of the heat.
Can you lift him?
We don't mind what if we want to go fishing. Now, what I just done then was a silly thing to do. I put my hand over the side and grabbed him.
Yes.
And I know for a fact in that
You just
hole
wanna
there,
hold
there
him
is
up
a
for a sec.
14-foot crocodile. We've seen him plenty of times. So we'd be a bit hungry one day and go to eat one of the Barra. Like he's not particular.
Oh,
I mean, what do crocodiles eat?
they're
Fish.
beautiful when they jump.
They tell me they mainly fish. They eat these barramundi
You'll see him jump first.
more than anything.
Well, you kept it quiet. I wasn't looking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, good.
Oh, he wants to get away, this fella. I think he's bigger than...
Oh, the lure's right down his neck.
Whoops, you nearly lost him.
Yeah, I heard him. Yeah.
Hang on to him. It's always a big effort to get him over the side of the boat. He's a beauty. Hold him up and I'll see if he's any bigger than the last one.
Bigger.
I'll just do a still here.
How heavy was that fish?
Oh, I think
Oh, he'd be close to 30. Between these big ones, between 25 and 30, they're over a metre long.
You know, Peter, I'd like to go up there, do a bit of barramundi fishing. How do I go with national parks and that sort of thing?
Well, what I'd do, the first thing I'd work out where I wanted to go up there, and I'd contact the national parks and get a permit to where you can get onto. You can go on and fish, because the rate things are going up there now, it'll soon be all national parks. If it's not at national parks, it's Aboriginal ground, and you've got to have a permit for that.
Well, national parks would be making it a bit better, wouldn't they? They'd be putting in toilets and giving them maps. Or...
Yeah, well, at the moment up there, when we've been going there for years, and it was nothing up there, but now they spent $90,000 just to put a toilet in.
Okay, what about boat ramps?
Yeah, there's sort of boat ramps there, but it gets washed out a bit. But you can get out of it quite, if you spend a bit of time, you can always get in there.
What about crocs? Is there many crocodiles about up there?
Oh, there's plenty of crocodiles there. You just got to treat them with respect.
What about camping grounds? Do you just camp wherever you like to go, or have you got to...
Well, we camp where we go, you know, just in anywhere and camp, but if these national parks keep going, you're not going to be camp anywhere without them charging you a fortune.
Right. What about fuel?
That'll cost a fortune too. Well, your best bet is to get fuel up there off Steve Barrett down at Lemon Bight. Fuel is very expensive up there.
So the safest way would be to carry your own fuel where you really have to.
Well, it's a long way up there, and it's a long way to carry fuel in, you know.
What's this?
This is the bowerbird. Like, the bowerbird here is blue. He's a blue bird, and he has all blue things around his nest. Up there, they're grey coloured, and they have anything white. But I'd go down and I'd shift a couple of these shells around, and he'd come back and play up and...
didn't realise he was that far around.
So you're not anchored there?
No, we just drifting along. Well, actually, if the tide's coming in, I'll run the nose of it up on the bank.
Get up a bit of new ground.
And that's when the water
Yeah, just moving that 20 feet.
comes
Can you
in, it'll
manage to
take
get
us
in
afloat
yourself?
again. You can
Oh,
see
nice fish.
the bait
Wow.
they take, and when I take these bait in, they've got no scales left on them. They completely roll them around their mouth, roll them around, they take the scales off.
80 centimetres?
And I don't know why they do that.
How do you
You want
catch
to
your
just hold
live
him up
bait?
for a sec, Pete?
With the throw net, use a little throw net.
Okay, Pete, so we're finally here. We finally made it to up here to our Barra fishing river. Now, what am I looking for when I put my boat on the river? What am I looking for as far as ideal locations to catch barramundi?
Any of these trees laying in the water is ideal for barra fishing. Especially this big one across here, that's a great tree. I'd say that we've got to get a barra out of that for sure. But these smaller trees on the side, the little fish congregate underneath them and the barra lay their weight on them. That actually gets to me up there. There's what they call a happy moment. They're little fish about an inch or inch and a half long. And if you pick them up, they call them happy moments. That's why it is happy. They stink.
hanging in
Oh
this
my God, you go through some agony with it.
Yeah.
But
Big
these
ones.
things, they eat them in thousands. You know, you pull a fish in, you see them regurgitating the...
How do they sting? Have they got little spikes on them or something?
Yeah, the little spikes on them. You ought to ask the wife. Yeah, they don't hurt when they sting a woman, but God, when they sting a man, oh, bloody terrible. You go through, for about
nice
3 hours, you go through
fish.
nothing but
Yeah.
pain.
Ah, well done.
We might have to keep this bloke, you got one eye. Oh, geez, he just hooked in the lip.
What percentage of fishing would you do with live bait against lures?
Oh, about half and half. We come here, just to this spot here, we'll only fish with live bait. I try to look after the place where I go here, it's only live bait fishing. The wife and I come there and fish with live bait, but up further we only go fishing there with lures.
Holy heck. We'll get him out of the water.
We find out if you're using lures and things. You can see all the orders I get. The wife tell me, you get it out of the water, don't do this. I'm only going to let the fish go.
I wonder why you took her.
So she's abused me not to take the hook out. You can put your hand in their mouth like that and you've got no fears of being
perfect.
bit or anything by it.
Move up on the beach a little bit.
That's a good
In case
fish.
you drop him.
Yeah.
Big fish.
I'll just grab his still camera and we'll take a still photo then. You said that before. You gonna jump?
Yeah, just when we could put fish in
We'll give him to these guys.
Once you seen him jump, did you?
Well,
Get them here?
no, I didn't. These other guys that were down the river wanted one. So we'll give it to them.
If you broke down in your boat, would you be worried about someone not coming along? Or?
Well, as you see, when I'm going down the mouth, I have 2 motors on the back. You know, I'll bloody get one motor to get me out. You know, I get back there with it. Yeah.
But you wouldn't really rely on anyone coming and finding it?
Oh, no.
No.
We carry an EPIRB and if we really, you know, things went really bad, we have an EPIRB. The worst episode was a fish hook through my hand. And that was bad.
So what do you carry?
An EPIRB.
What's that?
It's a satellite thing, and if you pull the EPIRB, it'll go off, and they can tell you from Canberra, that's all run from Canberra, and they can come within 4 feet of your boat.
Where you are.
They'll send a chopper out from Darwin or somewhere like that. They're a great thing, the safety thing.
This lady we just met here said her son was going to call in his chopper, and she's just gone fishing, and now he's just called in. So we're going down to tell him where she is.
Helicopter?
Yeah, there's mother was fishing there. He thought he'd come in and have a yarn. He's one of the stockmen, you know, they guard the stock up with helicopters.
Well, it's a little helicopter.
A blowfly with wings. Yeah, his mother said to me, do you want to go for a ride? And I don't think so.
Take you long to learn to do that?
Yeah.
Well, you're back from the top end. How was it?
Fantastic.
You going back?
My word, since I pack up.
There's plenty of barramundi up there then.
There's more barramundi. Every time I go, there's more getting in there.
Yeah. Anyone can do it, can't they?
Oh, if they follow the tape, the clues I give them on that, they should catch as many fish as they want.
Plenty of pictures, Grace.
Oh, heaps. I'll just have to get more batteries.